alike, just like today, sharing the same enthusiasm, united by the same goals. To contribute to the evolution of medical progress, to provide new knowledge for research into sexual dysfunctions, to encourage collaboration and exchange among the best specialists in the field, becoming their reference point. A reference point for scientific knowledge which today also bears our name and which has grown alongside us.
It is indeed a major privilege and honor to be here as President of the European Society for Sexual Medicine in the 10th anniversary of its life. I can still recall 10 years ago in Singapore when a group of young individuals, very enthusiastic, decided to expand the horizon of the International Society for Impotence Research, developing the European chapter.
1994, Singapore. The ESIR idea was born. We were born. The European development of the International Society for Impotence Research. 1995, Porto Carras, Greece. Our journey begins into medical knowledge, research and innovation, exploring new ways of working and networking. ESIR. 1997, Madrid. 2000, Barcelona. ESSIR. 2001, Rome. 2002, Hamburg. 2003, Istanbul. 2004, London.
I recall the first time that we were discussing about this society, and actually it was in Singapore, where together with Joram Vardi we were having a drink in a bar and we were fighting what we have to do about Europe. We needed something like a club or forum. He wanted a club, I wanted a forum, more people. And finally, when we went back to the hotel, Enrico Sáenz de Regata joined us. And he said, no, we have to establish a European society. We have to organize everything from scratch.
It was very obvious that Europe was very strong in the field and that the investigators from Europe had contributed enormously to the field. So that in itself justified bringing this society together.
I remember also the first meeting in Singapore 11 years ago, where a small group of European scientists started to dream to create a European society.
Something else that I remember is that when I approached Gord Wagner in order to ask him to become by that time the chairman of the planning committee, and he actually accepted immediately, and that was really a great moment.
Well, to some extent the society was formed because of a wish to be and have a core group of researchers within Europe. And it seemed that there was maybe too much diversity in the group 10 years ago, in 1992 in Singapore, and therefore this was a wish. So, as I had left as a president of the International, I was pleased to start as the president of the European Society.
The first step was, of course, preparing the first meeting of this society. At that time, Dimitri Hatzakristo was very brave, and he said, well, let me organize the first meeting, which he did.
And also, I will never forget that the first meeting had 20 minutes presentation and 20 minutes discussion.
Welcome to Greece, welcome to ESIR 95.
The room was full of the 400 participants from 8 o'clock in the morning till late in the evening. Long discussion in those very first steps of the society.
From then, after, every meeting has been extremely successful, and it's really a privilege to have been able to participate in the creation of this very successful society.
By 1998, when Professor Tejada became president of the ESIR, it became clear that these type of patient support groups were needed in different European countries.
Due to the earthquake disaster in Turkey in August 1999, ESSM Istanbul meeting would almost be cancelled. After days of negotiation with the executive committee of ESSM and with the sponsoring companies, a proposal was raised to move the meeting to Barcelona. It was very difficult for us to reorganize a meeting in another country within 1 month. Thank God that we had organized a very successful meeting with almost 1,100 participants, which made of us very happy. I also never forgot the golf tournament we had in Barcelona. Seafood and flamenco show we had with our colleagues in Barcelona was also unforgettable.
The first Congress of ESSM in Italy, in Rome, and me and Francesco has organized, I hope for you, a very important meeting. I think the meeting of the new society with 1,000 people in Rome, and I remember very, very well the evening in Rome when we have the opening ceremony, and Rome in that occasion I remember was beautiful.
Regarding Istanbul meeting, as a perfectionist, I tried very hard within every details of the meeting, and I think with the support of the President and the Executive Committee members of ESSM, we had a very successful meeting. And during the meeting, there was a bombing attack in Istanbul. So Dimitris and I took the fastest action to provide the security and to settle down the sponsors and the participants. This was a very important moment in our lives. And finally, for the opening ceremony, I tried to present a fantastic show, the Sultans of the Dance. And I had to work a lot to find a sponsor for them because they were very expensive. And in the end, we had performed that fantastic show, and my friends still talk about that fantastic Sultans of the Dance show.
Today, this society is really completely different, and a lot of new persons are coming in this society. And what I'm really happy to see that a lot of young patients and young physicians are now very active in this society, and you can see the organizing of this meeting in Copenhagen are two young, very bright scientists that are running this society, and this is really the face of this society.
It's been a true joy and real education to continue the research tradition of this region that was initiated by Carl Eric, Gorm and Hans more than 25 years ago. It's also been a true challenge to organize the 8th ESSM meeting here in Copenhagen, and an honor to be involved in the organization and planning of the 10-year anniversary of the European Society of Sexual Medicine. I hope that people will remember Copenhagen with the same warmth as I do remember the other meetings within the society the previous years.
I expect from the Copenhagen meeting that we will all have new friends. Every time I go home from a meeting in the European Society for Sexual Medicine, I'm very glad that I have made some new friends. So on top of having a very good scientific program, I hope that you will all bring a new friend with you home from Copenhagen.
What I've enjoyed about being associated with sexual medicine and the British and European societies in particular is the interesting people who know how to have fun and to enjoy life, and this is what makes ESSM meetings different from all the other specialist meetings I've been to.
I'm very confident that the society will grow in the next couple of years, and that we will have perhaps in the next 10 years around 3,000 attendees. So I wish the society good luck, and my guess is we will have a good future.
I think that all members of the society should be proud of what ESSM has achieved in its 10 years of history. ESSM is now based as a charity in London, UK. We have put together a number of very interesting educational activities, including the first international patient registry, including both women and men with sexual dysfunction, the first video library describing surgical techniques to treat a number of medical conditions. We now have a very beautiful new website, a very beautiful new newsletter. I think that all together, members and friends of the ESSM will invest in the future their enthusiasm to expand the field of our society in the interest of patient care.
2005, Copenhagen. Today we have grown in the number of countries affiliated to our society, in the number of its members, in the initiatives linked to our research, in the knowledge and in the efficacy of our medical work. Viewing the field of male and female sexual dysfunctions as a territory with increasingly clearly defined borders. That's why we are here today, to explore new frontiers in medicine, just like 10 years ago. Together,